I'm dressed very casually because I've been over at the Intel Science and Engineering Fair this whole week, and I'm part of the local arrangements committee, and I was working with students all morning, and some of the students that are not being judged today, we have observer students that are there, and they're doing some fun science activities. So I'm pretty casually dressed, and I feel very underdressed now. Everybody's looking so wonderful, but anyway. Casual? Okay. Okay. Hey, you're wishing you had your casual clothes on. Anyway, my job in our school district is that as a secondary science specialist, and I work with mainly 7th through 12th grade science teachers. I did work with elementary teachers before, but now we've changed that. And so I've been working with the older teachers of older students. And last year, our school district was invited to do an event as part of the festival. And we did a little piece of an event. A couple of our areas did. One in biotechnology had an event. We partnered with the city, and we did. They had their the science of flight. What was it? Was it called the science of flight or something?
Massey Takes Flight.
Massey Takes Flight. We worked with them, and then Jeremy encouraged us for this year to do something bigger. If you know Jeremy, he says, "Take it to the." I want you to take it to the next level. So we decided, as our whole school district, to do something, and so. We sort of did that. We have about 70 schools in our district, 57 elementary, actually probably more than that, closer to 75 schools, and then the upper level schools, junior high through high school. We didn't involve every one of those schools, but we focused in one area in our district. We took one high school. We have 6 high schools in our district. So we started with one that's very interested in STEM education with their students, the science, technology, engineering, math, integrating that into their coursework. And it was a principal that had a lot of enthusiasm. So I was the one that was the committee person that kind of rallied the troops. You need somebody that's brave to do this. I was the brave one. And then my counterparts are the details people. Because if you took this to a detail person, they go, no, it's too, no, we can't do it too. But they will hesitate. But you have to have somebody that's excited and energetic and wanting to do it. Then you have to have the reality of the detail people, because then they will get it done. So it takes a good combination of thinkers there, because on first thought you might think, oh, this is too big. But it's not too big, because you get a committee of people. And so I headed up the committees, and I got one reliable teacher or person in our district to be head of subcommittees. So we had a publicity committee because we needed to publicize our event. We had somebody in a safety committee to think about the safety of that night and the event that we were doing. We needed communications. We needed to have a committee that would make sure that all of our electricity and our microphones and all that were working for our event. Our event was just one night for 4 hours. And so, but it took a lot of committees to kind of make sure everything worked. We had a committee that worked with our city of Mesa, which is different than our public schools. So our city has a lot of departments, their engineering and their communications, and we invited them to have a table at our event. And they were really excited about it. They were like, wow, they want us to come and show what we do. And that was good, because then we need future employees in our city. So they felt like they were talking to people, students that would become the future employees. And so we had that committee. We had somebody that worked with the student committee. We wanted students at the target school. At Red Mountain High School is where we had our event. And we wanted students from that school to be a part of it. And so that takes time, and we needed more time. That's a lesson learned. We needed to start earlier recruiting those students to be helpers. I think next year it will be easier because they've already seen it done. So you get a lot of these subcommittees: communication, publicity, safety. We had, what did I do? I guess I was over here. We had security. You have to work with the security of the school You can't just show up with all these things. We had to have a security committee that worked with the venue. We had, I think I've named them all there. And so we were also doing this in conjunction with our science fair. And what you were saying, that you've had some events where they would just show what they do, that's a science fair. The kids have done the research and then they show what they've done. But so we had that going on in one area. It was a competition for our students. And then in the other area, we had the SciTech Festival, which is very hands-on. Kids getting to do a lot of the activities and having fun. And then they go see these kids that are doing all this great science research. And it was a win-win because it was a kind of a double whammy for them. They got to go and experience the fun, but then see the research that these other kids were doing. So it was a great night that way. That's the great thing, is everybody that comes has to bring their own activity.
Should we put the slideshow?
Oh, yeah, let's go ahead. Okay, so, and if it's not mine, I'll just...
There we go.
Okay, so, and we wanted them to have the STEM activities.
Push the arrows.
Oh, the arrows down here. Okay. We wanted them to bring, the STEM activities, and we sent a form out to the different places that might want to come, and we had them describe their activity. We had them describe what were their needs. Did they need internet? Did they need electricity? So we had them tell us what they needed for that night. We looked at their event to decide if it fit what we were really wanting to do. We went out to businesses. Is this just going to roll or no?
Is that better if it does roll?
That's fine. They can. We went out to businesses and asked businesses to come, not just city employees. And we had Home Depot, it's a home improvement store. Do you know what Home Depots are? They have Home Depots. They're not there yet. They will be someday. They came in and showed how to work with pulleys. This is an educational company that had some fun activities for the kids to use. This is our flight center. We do a flight center in our district, and students come there so you can see some of the different things that they're doing. I think that was just our chemistry department. We had students and high school students and college students that showed their things. This is a student that made a hovercraft, and he brought it in and showed the kids how they did it. They are making, I think, DNA necklaces, if I'm not. So they come in, and the people that come bring the activity. We don't tell them what to do. We don't plan it for them. They come and bring their fun activity. And so, yes. Well, we would have them, if they wanted to participate, we would have them modify their activity to make sure that it fit our guidelines. We wanted to make sure it was either related to science, technology, engineering, and math, and hopefully the integration of those. Not just science, not just technology, showing that integration. We wanted it to be hands-on. It had to be safe. There was one with fire, which was iffy. But, it makes it exciting for the kids. But we wanted to have people there that could help the kids understand the science that was going on. These are our city workers. And so you can see down there it says the grounds people. And we had police officers. We have an a yogurt shop that actually freezes the liquid for the yogurt right in front of the people with CO2. Do you have that? Something like that? So they take a liquid. You order your yogurt as a liquid, then they freeze it with CO2 right in front of you. And so they brought that to the festival to show the kids how they do that in their business. You've seen businesses, as you've been in Arizona, it says, "We buy gold." Have you seen any of those signs? We buy gold. Yeah. We have a lot of places that buy your jewelry, and so we had somebody in Mesa that does that, several of them, but we asked one of them, come to our festival and show them how you do that. How do you take their jewelry and figure out how much gold is in it? And so they came and they had a ball there showing people how their business runs. So anything related to science, they can come. Just as long as it's something that gets people engaged and asking questions and thinking about, because we're this was our home improvement store. And we like this because it was a girl showing them how this works. It was a pulley system and showing them how that works and the physics of that. We're hoping students get the idea. We want them to think about careers in college and to get them seeing something that might intrigue them that they wouldn't have been exposed to maybe in schools. So they see this and they go, oh, I really like that. That's interesting. How can I find out more about that? That's what we wanted them to be able to do. Because sometimes schools are so focused on just the basics, they don't get into career opportunities. And teachers don't know a lot about all those careers that are available now. I don't. Careers change all the time. So anyway, you can just kind of see some of these things are some people from the local universities coming and doing things and talking to the students. Yeah, that's one of the physics ones that we've seen this. Sun Valley Solar is somebody that was one of our big sponsors. And is it Sun Valley Solar, now that I say that? Maybe I said that wrong. Talking about solar energy. Our Boeing is one of our big plants in Mesa, hires a lot of our people. They have a lot of employees from Mesa, so they came and talked about many of their departments for the kids. So it's really easy. You just have to provide the tables, the space, the electricity if they need it, the wireless or whatever. They come in and bring the activity. It was really pretty easy, you know, because you're not trying to think of all the activities. This is just about the SciTech festival event. We were they were doing a scavenger hunt with QR codes. The kids that could take their cell phones and do the QR code and look for things at the festival. So they were doing things that way for these students. So the benefits to our district were varied and very exciting, because I think everybody that was there just felt that excitement and the energy. The parents and the students. Parents came and they were exposed to many things that they didn't realize that were going on. One of the slides that we barely saw was a police officer on his motorcycle, and that motorcycle is so high tech. I mean, it does so much on his motorcycle with technology, and people are not aware of that, how much technology has changed. So parents were seeing that, students were like enamored with that. The students that came, that's the whole idea. So we want them to get more excited about doing STEM kinds of activities. The teachers that came realized, wow, our world is changing. We need to teach differently. We have students that are going to be, we say, we're preparing students for a future we can only imagine. And so it helped a lot of those teachers say, wow, you know, I need to be thinking about my lessons. How am I going to teach differently for these kids that are going into these kinds of jobs? The benefits to our school district and the city were great because we were communicating. We've never worked with our city employees before, and they were like children wanting to do this. They were so excited. They got there like an hour early to set up, and they were just like bright-eyed and bushy-tailed and so excited to be there and work with us and talking with us. Through that conversation, we let our city know how important STEM is and said, you need to have STEM on your website. And they were like, oh yeah, because if you're trying to get businesses to come to your city and set up their whatever it is, manufacturing or their plants or their business, they need STEM employees. And if they don't see STEM anywhere, at least in the United States, is STEM only a United States thing? It's becoming international, maybe. It was an eye-opener for them. They went, you're right, we need to make sure that we are having STEM on our city website and let them know that our schools are doing things in STEM so that people will want to come here and have their plants and their businesses, and they know that they will have a workforce. That's the big thing, is we have to develop this workforce. So there were a lot of benefits. We got a lot of positive feedback from it, from the public, the parents, the kids were excited, and then the city and the businesses that participated. And it was only for 4 hours at one high school. We targeted the elementary and junior highs that fed into that high school and invited them to have activities there. But we invited the whole district in the whole city. So, what? Do you have any questions for me? We just did it. We just did it one day for 4 hours.
Is it enough?
For what we did, it was. For what we did, it was. We did it. It overlapped. It was from about 4 o'clock in the afternoon until 8 o'clock in the evening.
So after school.
Yeah. Started after school. Parents could come. After 8 is too late. Kids have to get home and get to bed. It was just the one night, and we had, I think, 60 tables. We had 60 different tables of people that were there that had different activities. And it's very looks kind of chaotic, but they are all there milling around and just kind of very relaxed and stopping at tables they want to see. And we told our exhibitors to bring enough materials for 125 or 200 people, but we had way more than that. So, but a lot of it was they just used the materials at the table and didn't need to have other materials. So anyway, any other particular questions for me on that? It was a great thing. If you're really worried about going big, don't be too worried. Just do it, and it's kind of like whoever shows up, great. You don't stress about whether somebody's not going to show up or not. It was just go for it. It's really a fun experience. So, thank you very much.
Thank you.